The mic is live. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Comprende?
okay. All right.
The mic is live.
Comprende. Comprende. I just wanna create
It's going
some
to take about.
background.
Oh, that's your background. What about that other
Ah,
painting?
that's my painting. It's
Oh,
not
I got to
ready
blow my
yet.
nose.
It's not ready, and this one is what we're gonna do. The collective spiral. Let's blow this first. That's good. Yay, Morgan.
All right. Where's Morgan? She's here. It's 4 o'clock in the
Just see
morning
the
over there.
hears and the hearts. Whoa.
We will. Let's see. Hang on. Whew. All right. Okay.
This is my
I'm gonna flip
first
this. I'm gonna
time
flip
on
this. What's that? Long time? Here, let me play.
a
Let me
long
play
time.
the.
Okay.
Yes. Let me play the 1 minute intro so we can give people a little more time.
Yes.
About 20 people in here. We'll be right back. Tzveta DaVinci is in the house. What's happening in South Florida on the front end of the apocalypse? ¿Cómo
Yay.
está usted, mi hermana? ¿Cómo está usted, mi hermana? Really, Todd.
Really, real time. A real, ridiculously crazy, beautiful time.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Hello,
things are going.
everyone. It's been. Yeah.
What was that?
I'm waiting for you. Memphis. Do you know where it comes from?
Everything's backwards now.
Yes,
Everything's
I will
backwards now.
explain why. Yeah.
Men first? What does that mean?
Yes.
Woman on
Yeah.
top? What does that mean?
So no, men first. This comes from the cave age, like woman first. So they let the woman in the cave. So if there's an animal, to eat the woman first. This is where woman comes. So please excuse me first. On the front line. Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time since you've been on the show. You've been quiet down there in South Florida. How long have you been down there now?
I've been here 2000 November 18 November 2000 November. So November 2018. Yeah.
No me digas. De veras.
No me digas. Yes, I've been kind of working on a deep. I haven't been online myself, and
You never.
actually I've been creating.
You have been creating. So,
yeah,
for those, because we're going to talk about the DaVinci spiral today, part of it, right?
Yeah, the collective one.
So for those who don't know, the collective DaVinci spiral, the collective forecast.
Yes,
right?
the collective, what is going on energy from the DaVinci spiral point of view. Yes,
Really, really, Tzveta.
really.
So for those of you who don't know, Tzveta downloaded directly from, so tell me if I got this right, Leonardo da Vinci, the Da Vinci spiral, which takes into account the spiral of life, number one. Number two, the seasons, the elements, the birth date, right? And so on and so on.
Yeah,
Um,
I will explain more about that. Yes.
yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes.
But today you're gonna today you're gonna so you did like a lot of individual spirals for people in Soulogy when you first came out, when I first
Yes.
met you, which was in late
Yes.
2017. And
Yes.
you did mine, you did Morgan's, you did ours together. And I know I just stepped into a triple fire, right? Triple fire.
And we're going to
Right.
talk about
And
the fire because
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because you said that my spiral was similar to the collectives. What's going on in the collective?
Yeah. We're going to talk. I want to start with it's what a powerful day today, 22nd. It's the Earth Day. And you pick up the number just like that, what was available. I ask you and you say, this is the day and the time and the 22nd and the 2, and it's the Earth. And I want to start with this. For me, the Earth, I live in South Africa with shamans, and I've been initiated from the kahunas and the Siberian shamans. And I've been exposed a lot to the shamanism and like a one-on-one experiencing. And what is the Earth for me? It's our body. It's like the most direct way to acknowledge when we say send love to the Earth and say the immediate direct appreciation, it's to take care of our body in whatever way to whoever feels that. And this is, for me, I call it a practical spirituality. And I'm just going to show you this is the blueprint of the spiral. And it's based on a lot of intuitive work, a lot of knowledge that I collected around the world, and every single teachings from all over the world, every single teaching, starting with the numerology, astrology, the ruins, you name the Kabbalah, the elements, the sacred geometry, everything that I run on across here before I really release it to people, it matches perfectly. And it matches because this is the sequence how we move in the spiral. And it's a very, it's a universal knowledge. It's not mine, it's not personal. I just here to put it in a system that can explain. And it's, for me, it's a very personal. And before we to reach the collective, we initiate our time, space, and this is what I want to talk today about the different ways to talk about. And in your shows, for years, you've been talking about the collapsing, about time and space, and I want to explain it from the DaVinci spiral. These are the channels. There are 4 channels. Time, space create the first cross, and then we have the energy and matter, the second cross.
So where's
the
first cross is right in the middle, right?
Okay, this is I'm showing you. This is, nobody has this one because this is the 0. This is the blueprint of the spiral. This is the blueprint.
That's the spiral before you put somebody's
before a birth date. Yes, and this is what I need, only the birth date, and then I channel the information, and it's science as well. It's a formula. It's a universal formula. I hope one day soon to put together and start to teach this so other people can do it, whoever is attracted. So there are 108 archetypes, 108 archetypes that are, for me, they're like a placeholders. And this is my mission to activate, and each placeholder can be like hundreds and hundreds of people. Each holding place, when I activate 100, the full holding place of the spiral, we collectively, it's a mission that is not clear yet. It's very strong, but it's not explainable yet. So I've been initiating, activating people, and through your own personal chart activation, you access directly. And this is just one way of climbing these mountains that we are climbing. There's so many other ways, and whoever resonates to different, I call them technologies, because these are technologies. And the technology, I'm fascinated by this. The technology, if we want to see where we are as consciousness, watch the technology. So the technology, it's mirrors our expanded state of awareness, and it's a very interesting way to watch when something comes new. Watch out for energy upgrade energetically. This is okay.
What? You
Yes,
knew I was going to
yes,
ask a question. How did you know
yeah.
that?
You were gonna ask me.
So,
I know you.
so
Yeah,
the technology is a mirror for us. The
yes, and
technology, okay, and so if I understand it right, the
yeah.
technology is the that template, that blueprint, the components of the blueprint, which is the elements,
No,
the
no,
archetypes. No, 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 no,
no,
no.
no. What I meant by this is the technology of the. I call it the technology of the spiral,
Hmm.
because it's a system with. I'm just talking about by technology by itself. Look at Apple now; it's releasing M1, a completely new processor. This is the.
Oh, yeah.
I think they go through generation processor. So every time a new technology is releases to the masses, it means what, like, I have watched this forever because I'm fascinated by technology and consciousness, and they are very connected. And the 5G, it's coming exactly as our 5D, how we accessing the 5D. So
That's what Shakina Rose said. Shakina Rose was on last time she was on. She was talking about how the 5G. So you're
yes,
saying the technology that is
the
in
tech,
our external experience is reflecting our internal transformation and upgrades.
yes. Actually, if you want to know where it's your consciousness, watch the technology. And what it's the whole point, because we cannot see ourselves, the eyes cannot see itself, so we need the reflection. Thanks God. So we are so
Thank the
many.
goddess. Thank the goddess.
Thanks the gods and goddesses that we are so many of us here. And this is how actually here where we're connected. This is where our connection lies, in the concept of whatever we see and perceive. It's within our own perception bubble.
Right.
So according to our perception, it's our how we see this world. And this is one of the techniques that I use. It's like, tell me, I need to spend. People come and say, "Can you predict the future?" I cannot predict the future. I can read your energy, and if I spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes with you, I can tell you what it's about to happen. And this is the formula that I use on DaVinci Spiral.
Mm.
And I'm gonna say it. Many people in their individual readings, I have explained it many times, but this is not a secret. It just put very simply here. Our mind, it's a like a generator, mind generator. Every belief, attitudes, what we hold as a belief, it's a perception, mentality, attitude, will generate an emotion, and this emotion will activate us to act or not to act. And these are the 3 simple steps of creation. Our mind creates the emotions. The emotion creates the action. And the 4th element, the earth, and today is the Earth Day. This is our earth, our body, our physicality. It's only here to reflect, to give us a feedback of how we think. So if I take the water and the fire here out of the picture, what is the 4D? Actually 4D, 6D. When we go into the Ds, let's put little humor into our DDDs. But it's expansion. Expansion.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
all right. What is my point here? It's our mind, what we hold, and we've been talking this forever. Our mind will directly project on the screen of our reality.
Right. So you said the mind to the action to emotion, or vice versa, and then the earth comes in, and the earth is the movie screen. The earth is the reflection.
The earth, yes, the earth is the final manifestation of one thing. It's one thing, and it manifests. It goes into the density. It's the air element and the water and the fire and the earth, and it's a different movement. They're always these are dynamic between the element, and they're always present. But there are times, and I will explain more about the collective spiral. There are times where one of the element is more predominant. When I activated the spiral, I'm going to show it to you. When I activated it, I'm starting it from 2012, and this is the birth date of the collective spiral. This is the biggest shift. I've been tracing the consciousness of the entire earth for many years, for 30 years, and energy shifts and moves. And
so you set the birth date as what, December 21st, 2012?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, these are the same. This is the similarity thought, and I have the same configuration. It's a kind of the place holding. I'm gonna show you right here. So these are the channels. This is the fire channel. There are 4 channels always. This is the air channel. They create. This is matter. I have not put them, but matter, energy, and matter. This is the first cross. And I want to explain how through the eye of the spiral, the collapsing of time-space, how we can do this. And how it's possible, practical.
Yeah. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested because we all see time is fading away. And now, I mean, at least from my perspective, space is going away. Like that's part of because it's all a head game, right? I mean, if we think the time is there and we think the space is there and we operate on those programs, but at some point we got to be conscious and engage a reality that doesn't include either one of them. So how do we do that?
Actually, they're very real.
They are.
They're as real. And again, I'm explaining real. From this point. They are as real.
Really.
As real as you make a contract, as you decide to be real. And I will explain here again, through melting, and this is, I call it liquid thinking. We are going, and you can go consciously into a liquid thinking. And when we liquefy our mind, when we start to liquefy it, this is the faster way to shift this reality. So it starts with the mind that will reflect on the earth. And the earth is only solid by the solidity of your beliefs.
Right.
So it's for people that really strongly believe.
1 moment.
Of my Siri, it's talking here. 1 moment. Yes, Siri. Okay, so by how we think, for people that are very firmly believe in something, it's become very physical. And I used to push people a lot and then take them away, but then I realized that whoever thinks something, you cannot snap them by talking. They have to experience their shit by themselves. So time and space, it's very, I call it, by the DaVinci spiral, I call it VIP, but not that VIP, very intimate and personal. This creation, VIP, very intimate and personal. And this is when we collapse our own personal time, space, and I'll explain even deeper what is the time space. It's the time space in the chart, they appear like your biggest challenges, your demons, your your darker side, your challenge that is in disguise. And I'll explain for you, chart. Fire and air are your gifts that you come here with. This is for the collective spiral as well. The combination, the dynamic with very, the air is the mind, the ability, the mind to be very movable, shifting fast, being able to explore. The fire is the passion that you put into this. So these are your a brighter side. These are your gifts that everybody sees. Your challenges are the earth and the water, emotions, and then the physicality, stability, matter, everything that is physical. And when person, and I'm talking directly about you, so to be able to understand how it works for the collective as well. When once you learn the mastery of your emotions and the mastery of the earth, these two elements, your challenges, when you master your own fears, and it's like sitting in front of the dragons in the fairy tales, this hero that goes on a journey and go to slay the dragon. Actually, these are our inner demons. And when we face them with courage, and there's no need to kill anyone anyway, and with our determination, it's with our willingness to evolve, to change, to be in our truth. This, how for me, how my own personal activation, how was shown to me through all my experiences that have been these dragons, they are my most incredible allies. These are my gifts they revealed, and I put myself, my higher self, put these guards there to guard the most precious treasure I have, we have. We put them there so we can face our own fears. And by facing our own fears, we collapse time, space immediately. So it's not a date. Okay. It's not a date. It's not a time. It's a very VIP, very personal journey.
I got you. So in other words, this is good. So in other words, the more fears that we collapse, the less of a presence, time, and space is, because of what you're saying is that the constructs of what we see You know, what it's constructed of is constructed on fear-based programs. Really.
Yes.
I mean, everything
Yes.
exists,
Yes.
and it's got some type of story behind it, which at the root of it is, you know, like a death program, fear-based program, or something
Yes.
like that. That's
Yes.
interesting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This information is being released, like the whole chart and everything, but I'm continuing to unravel it. I am finding so many things, and this is one of the gifts, just one little part. And this is, I always say, when you enter the center of your own spiral, when you collapse your own timelines and space and their illusion, then you see that they're illusion.
Mm-hmm.
But until we don't face them, it's very real for us. So we cannot convince anyone, oh my God, this is not real, this is not happening. It's like in my hypnosis training, there's a saying, if I tell you something, you might believe me or not. If I show you how I'm doing it, you might remember it. But if I involve you personally, so an idea sits, and we are talking about so many things, but it sits here in the talk until it doesn't drop existentially into our energetic field, until we don't experience it. We have no idea what are we talking. But sometimes we need to talk, and then boom, and it become existential, become like direct experience, and then words are not needed anymore. But until
Then we can just make tons of noises.
then we can dance and shake and laugh and
how do you do that?
ha ha ha.
Okay, you just said something. Wait a minute. Yeah, because if you think about the like, let's just say in the light worker community, if you see, or what we see in terms of what people are, points of contention that people are basically arguing over, and I'm talking about everything from vaccine to is COVID real, to Trump and Biden, to everything. That if you really think about it, and even the things that are the most horrible sounding, like child trafficking, sex trafficking, it's if you look at it, at the very root of it is a fear that 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 shouldn't go, you know, in other words, that power is real and that power can actually do something to us. You know what I mean? Almost like, where's God? Like, how can that be? You know, the famous question, if there's a God, then why are these things happening? Which is actually an arrogant human question. But my point is, if you think about the things that we look what just happened here with the trial of the officer that was involved in the death of George Floyd, and look at all the stuff coming out from there. It's all fear-based. I never really looked at you know, having somebody having, even myself, having an extreme amount of conviction on an issue and relating it to fear, because it's righteous, it's righteousness, it's the right way, it's the truth, it's God's way, and then you're totally separating from the other side.
As you know, I experienced that in a very intimate way with my loved ones. So I have a very strong, this is only my beliefs. I am just sharing what I know. Only bodies are dying. Mm-hmm. Just like this, only bodies are dying. And again, look, nature, look, flowers, they come and come back to the, and from this point, and I'm talking from a life experience of a lot of everything that I talk, it's based on my personal experience, and take what you can take for you. I just want to talk about this to shift it, to add to the conversation here from a different point, from the DaVinci spiral, from my own personal point. It's the, from my point, it's the biggest, it's illusion of separation, that we are separate. And I'm just going to tell you a very short story. Imagine this. God created itself, was so powerful that, and I've been telling this story a lot, it bursts itself into millions of pieces and decides to forget itself so it can experience. The more experience, the better, because it was bored being powerful, magnificent, omnipresent all the time for millions and millions. And put this into perspective. And if you are this a power that could hold the power for millions of years, and then what? It's become bored. So created a limitation, created time, space continuum at from the infinite, because infinity has its own problems, being in the infinity. And when you go through from that state of being and meditate long enough to stay in this state of pure consciousness, how it will feel. And maybe this, I will do a meditation here one day on this. How would you feel if you are powerful for millions of years? And it will make sense. So it created finite time and space, energy and matter, and decided to forget itself. So to play this game. So imagine this burst of energy and dispersing itself. So some of these parts stay closer to the center. And this was like Jesus and Buddha, I'm just giving example. And some of its parts went way further to the very far outskirts of this bank. And this we call Hitler, Stalin, all these horrible creatures. But what if we got it all wrong, that these people, and for me, everything is created out of love. Everything is created out of love. This existence is created with all this diversity, with all this contrast, with this is my own stand, that everything, doesn't matter how horrific it looks, the horror only can awaken us faster. So the corona for me, it's like the catalyst to awaken us faster, because how put a person in a confined space and put the fear on for a long time, the intensity, they're going to awaken. Either they're going to pause reality, but more precisely, they will awaken faster. So the corona, the vaccine, everything that is coming, it's only to initiate our awakening. And I lately, I'm asking myself, why we're in such a big hurry? Why do we don't just enjoy what we have right now, what we have? Why we are in such a big hurry to, there's nowhere to go, no one to become. And I'm just talking to myself, but just this is my idea of what is happening here. So every person, doesn't matter how horrific it looks, they are playing on behalf of creation, and they're playing even better this game, because their assignment was to forget who they are, to forget about the oneness.
I agree. It's like if you look at the whole thing, like, okay, so like that painting behind you, did you do that one? Is that yours? Oh, that's yours.
It's my original.
So
Original.
It's an original.
So I'm
Original.
preparing. Yes,
But
I'm
if you look
preparing
at
my
so what you
virtual. Yes, okay.
know what you're saying about the painting?
I'm preparing a virtual gallery. I'm gonna be ready very soon with this, with all my painting, and they're infused with messages, energy, and a lot of other things. Yes.
And some double D's, deep D's. What did you
A
say?
lot of double D
Deep D's.
dimensions, density dimensions,
Density.
and whatever D's you can come up with.
So if you look at that painting, and if you look at the painting in terms of what you were saying, and you look at the painting in its entirety, and you see a beautiful equilibrium of, let's just say, the God goddess expression or creation. And so what you're saying is that you could take any single
Point.
any part of that painting, and you could pull it out and look at it and say, that's ugly, right? And that's what we're doing, right? You know what I mean? Like the whole can't see
The darker part that
yeah.
create this
It's
beautiful
like the
point that you're
opposite.
making. You're
It's like the
making a
opposite.
brilliant, yes.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of that saying you can't see the trees, because you're looking at the forest, but we're looking at the trees and not looking at the forest. We're not looking at
Yes.
and you know
Entire
what?
picture.
I totally agree with you. I think no matter who you are, no matter what causes that you connect yourself with or identify with, everything nothing, no one will be excluded. No one's left behind and no one gets out alive. And that means that but it's inevitable that everything has to go into your heart, no matter how horrific you think it is. And that's not fluffy love and light bullshit. That's just reality. That's absolute reality. When people talk about AI is a construct of God, of the goddess. If the goddess made something and that in turn made something from what was made from the goddess, it's still the same thing. It's just a matter of perception.
Yes.
But if people want to, to me, I mean, I think everybody's coming to the conclusion that the best way they can contribute for themselves in the collective is to work on themselves and bring themselves to a higher level of alignment and frequency. And then I think one way to do that is anything that makes you uncomfortable, that you're not okay with, like in your case, and many other people, as time goes on, somebody close to you transitioning, or two, or three, or many other things. When that happens, something like that happens, you're right. It's like the coronavirus. It's like a catalyst because because it challenges us to question what we already know. Is there a God? Why is this happening?
Strips us.
There's a little bird just flew right on my.
Yay.
What in the hell? That's the third time that's happened in how cool is that?
Yes.
That's a good sign. That's a really good sign.
Yeah. Spreading its wing. And you made a very powerful point here about the contrast, because a painting, a sunset, anything beautiful that you look, it has a contrast. It has a contrast, and in this contrast, in this movement contrast that we are in, it's created by this. And beautiful, I'm going to use this point, but take one little piece and it doesn't look. But when and this is what I do with the spiral, when we see the whole picture of our own life, actually, this is on one paper, your whole life, it's put here and it's dimensionally, and you collect yourself and you see the whole entirety of your whole life, and you can collect yourself. So I want to go to the point for what is happening now.
Yes. What's happening now for the Earth is what you're saying.
All right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. What it's 2020, December 2020, December, so 1920. December
the 20th. That was the solstice. That was
December 2020. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Earth got into the fire energy, the collective spiral. But there's a lot of other. I'm talking here. The first is the background. The background is shifting of one perception. This is as I started from the beginning, the air element. Okay. Here is the shift from 2014.
Okay.
Actually, 2012.
So the first part of it, you try to hold it straight. But the first part of it, from what is like 6 o'clock on the clock, going up to like almost 3 o'clock on the clock.
We are here right now.
Yeah, that's 2012 to 2020, December 2020. So what happens what happens after we cleared through December 20th, 2020? What are we stepping into?
We just, okay, let's talk a little bit more about that. We are 8 years old kids as a consciousness. So if we take ourselves, this is as a collective consciousness, we are children playing in this playing ground, and look at kids at the age, and you will recognize where we are collectively. And what is our baggage, actually, it comes from our parents. So I'm just giving a little way. So look at 8 years old, how they're behaving, and there are many different behavior. And depending of our luggage that we care from our own personal past. And this is where I've been doing my own personal work for more than 30 years now. But it comes from us. It's all this blaming. And I have one beautiful saying that I push a lot of people. I can't say uncensored words here, can I?
Yes, of course. What's the words?
The word is fuck the people.
Wait, what's the word?
And this is, but no, we don't stop here, because we always talk about people. Fuck the people.
Yeah.
I am the people.
Yeah.
So this is a very powerful state to be where enough is enough, because these people out that we put people in plural outside are nothing but us.
That's right.
So the first one is to express your the passion, the rage, the fire. It's like enough, it's enough. So and it's a very powerful healing saying.
What? Enough
F
is
the
enough.
People.
F the people.
I am the people.
So, okay, this is a big deal, though. This is a big deal. I woke up today and I was totally off planet for an hour. So I happened to look at the Facebook or whatever. Was it Facebook? Yeah. So I saw this notification from somebody who's been in the community for quite some time, right? And has been around Soulogy probably for, I'd say, 4 or 5 years. And they're in and out and in and out and in and out. And so they put up a post specifically about Soulogy. Now, this isn't about Soulogy. This is about what you're talking about, where we're at, and how do we deal with this without just saying, oh, well, you know, just do this or just do that. You know, there's more to it, right? There's more to it than that. And so anyway, not only did they put up a few remarks, but then they put up a video of somebody who's been around a long time, who's been involved around Soulogy since probably 2013. And the gist of it was, and this is not about these people, and it's not about Soulogy. This is about us trying to find equilibrium with anything and everything, because whether it's an incident or a person or a situation or an event, it's still the same energy reflecting back at us, an opportunity to balance and integrate and bring it to 0 point. So basically, and we hear this a lot, okay, all of us have been probably guilty of it, at least in our thoughts. And I know we've all come a long way. But so basically the gist of it was, these people out there do this, and these people out there do that. And they say they're light workers and all this stuff. Like, fuck off. And I don't mean fuck off just to them. I mean, fuck off to myself. Like, who the fuck do you think you are for us to be, that post, who am I that God would know my name?
Yes.
And yet we're going to sit there and take that level of humility and turn around and be arrogant asshole. And look, so here's to me the code. When I start to think, like I did this morning, the nerve of you, pal. I started writing my message. Like, who the F do you think you are? You know, you've been on the show. A lot of people want to come on more often. We got a list of 100 people here. Now, this isn't about Soulogy. I'm just trying to say it's not about this dude. And it's not about the person he put the video up of. It's about me. My job is to form an equilibrium with that energy that's presented to me, even if it's a person, with a personality, right? And I think this is where we're all at now. I think we're starting to realize the futility of the old way, which is they're over there, they're not awake, they're worse than me, they're better than me. And and
The
and,
ancient,
and what's happening is the bullshit's coming back to us to work
yeah,
out for
if we
ourselves.
take it, if we take it, if we take it.
Well,
And you
yeah.
say, yeah, I just want to support what you're saying.
Hmm.
There are a lot of people like you, and I actually I want to add here for people that don't know, like when I saw you the first time, you activated me with your pure raw energy, authentic, and people I needed, and people like this to shake it a little bit, even like to
Shake it.
take
Shake
to
it.
shake it, and it sound rough, and
Yeah.
I've been very rough. For some people I've been rough, but this roughness sometimes it's needed, so the next wave where it can be more gentle, but we need to they need this fire force that you are, and that this the
So we're
collective.
right. So we're stepping into a fire 8 years after 2012, as of 2012,
We are
2020.
right now
Yeah.
in the
But
fire element from December
right,
2020
right.
to December 2021.
So
The whole year it's a fire element, and it's an action. It's
so
a
that does that
last
mean
year.
so like fire, that means does that mean like fire, like purification? Like because
Yes,
it sure seems
yes,
like that
yes, yes.
everybody's stuff is coming is being thrown in their face. Not that we can't handle it, but it seems like everything is coming right in our face to the point where even if we try to avoid it or resist it, it's not going away.
Right. The fastest way to go through this, to burn through your own fire. Shut the window, shut your mouth, like shut yourself for a
And
while.
shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth, shut every phone.
Seriously.
Actually, it's a powerful.
Mm.
I'm initiated by Osho in one of his workshop. I've been with Osho. Osho was the one book that I took with me on my travel around the world for 25 years. And he's got this meditation. You you shut your breath and you hold it until you pop out. And this is from the Hermetics, from
How
the
did
Kabbalion
oh yeah.
Hermetics, from the very old Egyptians, from the alchemy actually.
Yeah.
It's when we in the confinement, uh, we seal, hermetically seal anything, being emotion, being state of being, and you hermetically see it, and you become the alchemy. It start to work. We have a natural build ill. We are the alchemists, but how do we do it? And this is one of the tanza. I have many ancient elements in tanza. These 2 hours are put with everything. It's a very specific way to, but one is hermetically sealed. And when you burn your own fire, and I have this saying for many years, by the purity of your heart will be given. By the, you said it, the fire, it's purification, but to purify one energy field, it's to point every single person that you hold grudges again, every single situation that you
Mm.
blame for your misfortune,
Mhm.
everything from your past, present, and future, and you are you accountable for everything. When you take this accountability and then you seal it hermetically.
I never that's good. That's good stuff. I never realized the connection between the Hermes, they're hermetically sealed, and yeah. But you know what? Like what you're
The
talking
heart.
about, that so we know, like we know that if we consciously and consistently recognize in anything that we're not in balance with, which is another way to say that is anything we look at from a point of separation and judgment, because that's a lot of stuff, right? But if we start to bring that in, as so many people have, That's a great way to raise our frequency. And then what happens is, and I think this is happening now, the 5D, the 6D, the 7D is starting to fade into our physical existence.
Actually, it's here.
The magic. I
It's
know that's what
here.
I'm saying. Well,
Yeah.
we're becoming aware of it. We spend we're spending a lot of time doing shadow work and zero pointing, and that's still going to be part of our that's still a go-to. But at the same time, because we've raised our frequency, we have accessibility and we have greater clair sensitivities. So that's becoming, I think, a bigger part of our life every day and quickly.
Actually, if I was with this magic wand, I will put 3 days fasting and in a dark room, the whole world. For 3 days, we work our own. When every person work their own things, your own perception, and this resonate.
Well, wouldn't
with,
that be a trip if everybody got put into a
yeah,
small little cell?
I lock everyone.
That's it. Well, that would set things straight.
In a dark room. I have done it for me many times. I push myself to the limit, like you. We come here to kind of shake it, the front line, and there's no person like behind her. And absolutely agree, like you. Until the last person is not okay, we are not okay, because we are all one. Yeah. And again, I'm gonna come back here. This is your multidimensional being. When you start to your VIP, your very intimate, personal journey to understand it, to unravel it, you start to integrate it, and then you see that everything is already here. And you, and again, I'm going to compare it with the technology. As we collapse this, shifts are nothing that we're going through. They are nothing but expanding of the bandwidth of information yes.
I just got to say this. I have a
the bird is there.
No, it's more than one. There's like 4 of them. I swear, I shit you not. They're coming in like they're just like. You said something really fascinating. Okay, back to the technology.
I'm gonna repeat this again.
No. I want to just go back over this. So, because like I said, Shakina Rose brought this up when she came on in regard to 5G. And I've never looked at 5G. I'm like, what the hell? That's just a program. That's just the power of suggestion. I don't believe in that. And I'll work with it. We talk about these things all the time. But what I'm trying to say is technology, if we look at technology from a human perspective and look at the advancements in technology, the last 10 years have been warp speed. And what has been directly parallel to that has been our own expansion of consciousness. So what I'm trying to say is there's been a lot of talk over the years in regard to disclosure. And we're talking about free energy, 0 point field. We're talking about a secret space. We're talking about portal, utilizing portals to navigate the earth and the universe and the solar system and so on. We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff here. We're talking about invisible cloaks of invisibility. We're talking about what is it? The anti-gravity technology. But now this is what I'm trying to say. So imagine at some point, imagine the lion's share of that technology being revealed, not even shown, just revealed, not passed out to everybody, but just say, hey, they come out and say, hey, this is what we have and this is what we can do. That by itself would, to me, if it's connected, would precipitate a massive, almost like a solar flash type of level of conscious expansion.
Yeah. I mean, and I want to add something to this, and this is like my pinnacle moment. We are this technology, and this is like the spiral. It's activating, like for me, because I've been working a lot personally and with a lot of people. It's we are this high tech. we have nothing to fear about the and again, the technology only, it's a reflection. It's like the earth, the screen of our reality, the screen of our consciousness. And whatever they and again, this is a concept that I work for many years. There's not them, it's us. And again, I'm coming back to this. It's very powerful when you say, fuck them all, I am the all. This is how we take our power back.
Or you could say love them all. Wouldn't matter. You could say either one.
I understand. I'm like raw and rough. Yes, love them all.
Raw.
We
Raw
can
and
bless them
rough.
all. But this is just like for when you're on the edge to pop up, when you've got this fire and you're bursting. I've been there in this rage. I've worked with many years. 1999, I started to watch David Icke, and I was amazed when he was on your show.
Hey,
And
David,
he
hey, guess what?
activated me.
Hey, I got a message from his son last night. David Icke's coming back on in June.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
He's an
that's cool.
incredible human
Yeah.
being that I was activated by his teaching 1999. And this is them actually does not. Them is the virus. The virus, the real
Yes.
virus, it's in the perception that them, this is not them, there's
That's
us.
right. There is
It's
no them.
us.
There is
There's
no
no them.
Mm-mm.
There's no them. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because I don't want to run out of time, because
Yes,
I got too much shit. But
let's
look,
wrap it up.
well, yeah, but let's find out. So, how do people? Do you have a website? What is it?
Yes, at tzvetadavinci.com.
Tzveta DaVinci.
It's Zvta Da Vinci.
I know how to spell it.
I just help.
Tzveta DaVinci.
I
But as I
spend with
was told, it's not Tzveta, it's Tzveta.
Tzveta. Just call me Da Vinci.
DaVinci.
Da Vinci.
So, are you doing spiral sessions online?
Yes, I am, and I want to just extend this for the people that are watching here. And just the code word is Soulogy. I will give you a 20% discount from the price. And it's for me, it takes me 2 hours. A lot of people have suggested do an application, do app. I do it personally because I put a lot of energy. I activate it and generate, and it's hand done. So I need 2 hours to activate it, and then I spend 2 hours with the person to. This is your blueprint. I teach you how to read it. Actually, I'm not teaching you anything to remind you because we already know everything that we need to know. But this will speed your journey by seeing and understanding where you are. Right now, I'm in the water element. I've been learning to swim, like figuratively, literally. This is the emotions. And depending of your background, where you are the priorities that are coming to you. And looking outside, what is happening, you can only trace it by your reaction. This is your key, not what's happening, but your reaction where you are. This is gonna give you a very personal, direct tool, and many other tools that I share with you in this session. But you will start to really take your life and find this essence and start to see the magnificence of your being despite what you think has been. Because this is, we came here, I'm gonna, this sentence with the eyes, they cannot see itself. They need to reflect on something.
True. That's true.
So it doesn't matter how much we look to find ourselves, we can only find ourselves through others.
But isn't that crazy though? Like, have you ever had those moments? And I remember these moments back as early as like probably 3, 4, 5 years old. And you're sitting there, and like, say you're in the backyard and you're a kid and you're just looking out and you're kind of going through that whole thing of, who am I? What is this? And that's the one thing that you can't see is yourself.
Yeah,
And I guess the whole point is you're looking at yourself the whole time.
there's a beautiful saying, if I can hold a giant mirror to show you who you are, like our magnificent, it's beyond. It's beyond. Whew, so much more. So this year, now each year, I divide it again. Every 3 months, the energy shifts. So from December, January, February, March to April, actually yesterday was water. So we start to add the elements, and this is what I teach you, how to play with the elements. This is fire channel going through air background in a fire. Actually, no, sorry, this is the earth. 2019 December, we were activated by the earth, so this is the earth channel energy. So we're just adding the elements, and the dynamic with the elements, it's fascinating because this whole reality is created based on these 4 elements and their dynamic, their configuration. It's what creates the diversity here. So earth element going into the air, then adding the fire, but then we can add that right now, today, like 2 days ago, yesterday, we entering the water. So starting to balance. So the next 3 months, so the more predominant it's one element, this means that it's like too much of something. It needs to balance. You're always gonna look for another person that balance, because Todd and Morgan has completely 2 opposites. Morgan came with the ability of emotion and earth. This is her powers. Your powers, it's the fire and the air. And you two are serving each other completely. It's like a so this is very crucial to understand oneself, and you will attract people that are completely opposite to you. Just, and I call it practical spirituality, because I want to say something here. Another thing is that people say, "Oh, you're so spiritual." Spirituality for me means now becoming more clear. Means only one thing: we are all spiritual. Your willingness to connect to the true self. This is from DaVinci. From my point, spirituality. It's like it's not outside here. We are all spiritual. We all have the built-in. We are here to balance it. To balance everything, to bring the spirit and matter to. That's why we came here, to experience this physicality. So on this Earth Day, it's to acknowledge the physicality, everything that we've been denying. It's just, and it's again very personal. See what you've been condemning and denying as physicality. And one fast way for richness. If you see a rich person, if you see something beautiful and you think you don't have it, just say, "This is me," and start claiming it. This is the energy game, where you play this game and you say, "This is me and this is me." And you bring the asshole up to your heart, and you bring the person that you look up into your heart, because we are everyone.
So yeah. Oh my God!
Okay.
I
want in a very short time to...
If most people are going to utilize a word such as that, they'll kind of accentuate it. You just said it calm and normal. I had to double, think about it twice. So, what was I going to ask you? So the year's broken up into 3 parts. I mean, 4 parts. Is that right?
4 parts. Yes.
Okay.
So each 3 months, the energy shifts.
Joe Delaney says holistic. Okay, so let's stay serious. So Okay, so
Okay.
the first 3 months are fire. Now are they a different?
No, first, okay, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was going to
December,
ask. Okay.
January, February, March 21st, it's an air element.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, March. April, June, July are water element. Everything follows the same. It's the same on a bigger scale, follows the smaller scale. It's like the hologram. And I'm preparing amazing piece of art with the hologram concept that if you break a doll, a glass doll, and you break the doll in millions of pieces, and this is how directly you can have a sense of how we are carrying the spark of God within us. You have one big doll, glass doll, and you break this doll on millions of pieces. Every piece that is broken is going to have the exact shape as the big doll, with the exact characteristic as the big doll. This is the very easy way to explain what is hologram. Holographic universe. It's breaking it, so it's the big pattern and the small pattern is the same. It's the same formula, and you can apply it on a bigger scale, on a smaller scale. You can zoom out to infinity and zoom into infinity. So it's with this spiral, you can break your own repetitive cycle and enter the infinity of the spiral.
Really, Tzveta.
Really,
really.
yeah.
So, right on, man. This is cool. It's good seeing you, beloved sister. You going to make it to the Soulogy Fest?
I will do my best if I
Oh
can.
my
I
God!
will.
What
If
kind of
not, I
lame
will
ass?
be
What
from
kind of
here.
lame ass answer is that? What?
I will get my broom and fly.
Your broom.
But I'm waiting for
Bring your broom. Bring your
and
broom.
just to tell people that we can joke here because we know very well each other.
Yes.
We thought
You cut my head off in a past life.
Yeah.
You cut my head off with a sword in a past life.
We spent a lot of time with Morgan and Todd. I marry you guys. I gave you that giant blessing in the spiral garden. Actually, the spiral garden it's the same model. I put it in a garden. This one of mine. Oh, it's beautiful to be here.
Yeah. I love you. Get your ass to Arizona into May. Sedona.
And may you realize your true potential. All of us.
Absolutely. We are going to announce a giveaway of 2 free tickets to the live event. To the live event in Sedona. 2 free tickets. And they will include 2 3-night slots in the hostel retreat, that HOSTEL hostel retreat that we're collaborating with. So that's going to be cool. I'm going to announce that Sunday, and yeah, so we're going to pay it forward. Tzveta,
it's going to be epic.
It is going to be epic. It's the first
because
Soulogy
you're
Fest.
epic.
It's gonna. It's not me. It's gonna be epic. I've been getting downloaded on it, and there's a lot of alignment going on. Yeah. So sit tight. Get ready.
Thank you for bringing your vision for so many people. Thank you for bringing the vision. It's incredible.
Well, it's only half my vision. It just looked like me on the linear timeline. But yeah, it's all coming to fruition. Well, you take care. Love you.
It's time. Ciao. I love you.
All right.
Ciao,
See you
ciao.
later. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.